So I'm going to tell y'all that some time ago I was in Jamaica, and I came across this Jewish couple, and we had an extensive talk. I was surprised that they would even speak with me or talk with me. Now, in dialect, we say names somewhat, it's not the same. Yet and still, when I brought up certain things to them, especially genealogy and scripture and stuff, some things they understood, other things they didn't understand. And they don't know these Jews, so-called Jews, Ashkenazi Jew. Think about that for a second. Even that statement in itself is kind of like an oxymoron. It's a diametrically opposed names or titles that is given. Because Ashkenazi, when you look at that, comes from Gomer, which changed to Japhet. And if you're going to say Jew, I know it's done try to metamorph a little bit over here to what y'all see today, but that ain't true. And the word Jew comes from the root word Judah, the tribes of Judah, which are people that are indigenous to Northeast Africa. Ashkenazi is 100% European. So now they got people saying that they're Ashkenazi Jew, meaning that these people have quote unquote so-called DNA from Europe as well as Northeast Africa. And we know that can't be so, because now all the so-called Jews that people know today has been whitewashed. And we know that's not true. So one thing that they don't know, that I know is that it is illegal in Israel for them to get an ancestry DNA test. It's illegal. And the reason being is because they want this fabrication hidden, even from their own people. They want them to confess something, to believe something. Because you see that they always talk about how that they are from the descendants of Jacob. They always try to go back to this stuff. But yet and still, even on YouTube, there's quite a few honest Ashkenazis that actually tell you that they're 1% European. And I think the problem today is just fabricated lies, people refusing the truth to accept it for what it is, putting their opinion above truth, and then digging in their heels and trying to make something that is not. I guess they try to convince themselves in their own minds. Okay, so we went over that. We went over Genesis 10. We went over the genealogies and stuff, and we showed where people come from. And I asked him, do you know anything about Jews being melanated people? He said, oh, of course. But if you notice the state of Israel, white state of Israel, they don't recognize any Melanesian people whatsoever at all. There is a spirit out here today, be it here in America, Britain, Spain, Portuguese people, the Ashkenazis, I don't care what it is. Nobody wants to give them any credit for history whatsoever at all. Well, Vladimir Putin has decided to open up the Greek Orthodox churches, or the Eastern, which one is it? Oh, Eastern Orthodox Church. Anyway, the churches, hieroglyphic paintings, things that's on the wall. And to the shock of a lot of Caucasian people, the only thing that they see on those church walls are melanated prophets and melanated apostles and melanated people that is associated with the scriptures, and not one Caucasian person is there. Now, most people are very uncomfortable having these type of conversations. I don't know why. We always say we love truth until it hits a certain part where people feel like that they're not included. That depends on who's teaching, preaching, and where your level of understanding or comprehension is. But I can tell you this. By the time we got finished with that conversation, and we were supposed to go out and have a beer later on, they did not ignore me when they saw me again. They kindly smiled and waved and kept it moving. And of course, I understand that and I can respect that. Especially if you're not too familiar, but if you are, then you go and look at something, and then you open it up, the book, and you're starting to research and study what I said, and then you close it because you want to ignore it. because now you found out that you're an imposter, and your whole nation is an imposter, and the whole world is trying to still sell this lie and get people to believe it. And for what purpose? I don't know. Again, no matter how much they try to cover up the truth, it's always going to rise to the top. If it was not important, then all of us got to ask, then why is it that the Caucasian people are perfectly content with keeping this fabricated lie going, that these people that come from Khazars were a pagan nation, and that they end up converting to being a Jew. I hate to use these words, but I got to use it for understanding, because if I try to speak on another higher level and a higher plane, only very few people are going to comprehend what I'm saying, so I have to keep it at this level. And so the real question should be is, okay, if they lied about this, what else have they lied about? And what other lies are continuing to keep being fabricated and pushed up on the people? Tell you what, a lot of things, a lot of people are turning back to the weak and beggarly elements of this earth. A lot of people are falling away. And this is an end time prophecy. That day should not come unless they have become a falling away first, and the man of sin, the son of perdition, be revealed. Man, we're there. This is no time to get lax and slack and go back out into the world. It's some serious stuff. I love having these type of discussions when I get to sit down and speak to people face to face, because it could be a possibility in this area. I could learn something. Could be a possibility in this area. I could learn something. I said it could be. Didn't say that I'm holding my breath to think that it would be. Then I just sit there and watch this one cat on YouTube. I think it's called Dr. Brown, Michael Brown, or whatever it is. That man is nothing but a fork-tongued, double snake liar. He tried to turn around and make Ashkenazi and downplay it and try to say that they came from the line of Judah. What a liar, man. And these pigs get up there because of their so-called racial superiority stance. And they don't care how much they have to spin it. They don't care how much they have to twist it. They don't care how much they have to warp it and distort it. It's bad. You know, I look at all these people out here that say that they love Jesus, Yahshua. They love Christ, the Messiah. And yet and still, you want to see a spirit rise up in people? Talk about Jesus, Yahshua. Talk about the Christ, the Messiah. And watch his spirit come up in him, rise up in him and change. And all of a sudden, they either want to get out of the area, they get mad or upset. They ain't got time for these type of discussions. I never debate on religion and politics, but the book says earnestly contend for the faith. The book says debate thy cause before men. I mean, and so they come up with all these excuses, because you have to understand, the ones that are a liar and of their father, the devil, which is a lie, is the ones who are not of the truth and hate the truth. Think about that for a second. You start talking about stuff like this, hey, it becomes something else. But most people don't have the stomach for truth. They don't. And very few people want vigorous discussion and debate. Very, 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 very few people want that. Me, I always like healthy dialogue. I think it lets each party know where they stand at. Damn, this guy driving like a bat out of hell on this road. This old Jethro. All right. Hope it says something to stimulate thought. wanted to say this day so we could stimulate thought. Maybe we can get a healthy dialogue going on this. And don't come up and give me this mess. It don't make no difference. I'm not the one that made the difference. The people who are ruling this world today has fabricated this lie and made all this difference. I'm just unearthing the truth that has been suppressed. And if you have some personal feelings and emotions about this, I think you probably need to check what spirit that could be operating, or whatever you perceive that I'm trying to say, or whatever it is. It's amazing how, as long as the lie was running, everybody is fine with it. But as soon as you start uncovering it, all of a sudden, people start to feel funny, have all these different ways about them. Amazing, isn't it? Y'all blessed day. I know one thing's for sure. The King, he is coming. He is coming.